What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of EdgeWorks Knife Studio, and today I am deviating from what I had planned. There's multiple reasons behind that. One being is I still just haven't finished what I needed to finish for it. But second of all, over this weekend I got a couple of really cool things in the mail. And as you saw from the intro, one of them is this new Sharpal fixed angle system. This one, and I have the others that I haven't even made videos of yet because I have so many other things going on, but I had to stop and had to do this one simply because of the features that are on this. This has what they call true angles, or I don't want to say perfect angles, but it's almost a foolproof way to make the entire knife the same across the board for what the set dial is, right? Because a lot of these other ones, they have their own great qualities, but if you set it on one of the little settings on there that sometimes, like for the ones that's just a metal rod that slides through the clamp, and it has where it says 25 degrees or 20 degrees or 15, it's going to be close, but it's not going to be exact. I believe this is about as close as to exact you can get without micro measurements, and ensuring that those measurements, are staying true through the whole thing. This system, I do believe, is going to do a majority of that for you. I'm going to show it to you right now. We're just going to get right into it. So, fair warning, Sharpal did send this to me. So they didn't pay me to do this, but they gave me this system. And as you guys know, I've done Sharpal stuff in the past, so I have a small relationship with them. And they're really good to me for what they've been doing. The opinions are my own. They have not coerced me to say anything about this. I'm free to say as I want. So the only thing that has taken place here as a promotion is this unit. So this is a sponsored video, just know that, but it is my own. So we'll get right into it. And so this is going to be my first time even using this. I have not done anything but look at it and take some pictures, and I checked a few things out. I mean, I kind of picked up some things and pulled them out and looked at them, right, just to kind of get an idea, because some of it didn't make sense at first. And I'll show you what all that is. So we're going to put it together actually and use it. We're going to sharpen one of my wife's knives here, well, maybe both of them. So first of all, you get this really nice plastic case, carrying case. This is amazing, by the way. So inside here, when you open it up, you're going to see you got two levels. You got your stone set, okay? It even comes with a marker. As we know, when you're working with fixed angle systems, a lot of times what we're telling people to do is you take that marker and you mark that bevel, okay? And then you run your stone until it scratches that whole Sharpie marker away. Well, they provide you with a marker. So that's just like completely thinking of the whole thing, right? They left nothing to chance, I guess. Got a little brush, which I'm assuming, I do not know. It didn't have an instruction booklet that I found. That doesn't mean that there isn't one. I was excited, I just pulled it all out. I believe there's a QR code. I have not scanned it. This is going to be just me doing as if I was a consumer that bought it and ripped open the box, okay? But I'm assuming this is just to brush away the metal shavings and stuff like that. You got an Allen key, which we're going to use here shortly to tighten things down. The stones themselves, so you get diamond, as well as the ceramic standard type stones and a leather strop. The diamonds are from 220 to there's 325, 600, and 1000. And then in the ceramic style stones, you get a 3,000 to 6,000, and then, like I said, a leather strop. I checked, of course, these you don't have to worry about. I checked the finer grits for grit contamination, and there is none. Another thing too, I noticed this. It has measurements. We're going to get into that in a minute. That has to do with what I was telling you about precision as far as getting a true angle, you know, bevel edge angle. So I'm going to set these aside just for a moment. And here is your base. Oh, the rod was over here too in that top piece. So we're going to get to that in a minute as we assemble this. But here is your unit. This is the base for it. It's got a nice little rubber pad on the bottom. It comes with green compound. Anybody that's ever bought a Sharpal strop has seen this compound. I've got tons of it. Just the standard Sharpal green compound. It's actually, believe it or not, I like it. I've used this for a long time on a lot of my strops and still do on some. I have a Sharpal strop that is dedicated to using that. And I've even bought more of their compound just to have it on hand. That's how much I like it. It always has served me well. So I'll just leave that out there. And that's because something that I have used even before all this. It comes with masking tape, a little water bottle, and your clamps. The masking tape, as you can see, I've already done this. I've taped up the clamps just so it doesn't mar up your knives and your surface and your finishes and stuff. This is a spare screw set, bolt, screw, whatever. Looks like the bolts that go into here, and then a shaft screw, which is this guy here, for clamping this down. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out. You'll see here you have your markings for your bevel degrees. And on one side it says A and goes to 35. One side it says B and goes to 30. It's important. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Here is your unit. It pivots, right? Twists. It has a locking mechanism. So what you do is you set it, get it nice and set there, which, by the way, that's not going to move. You know, some of the problems with the Precision adjust system from WorkSharp is this thing flexes whenever you push on the knife with the stones. This part will flex down because there's nothing supporting underneath of it, and it's plastic. This is all metal. This is aluminum. And this is not going anywhere. You lock it in place. You're not going to twist, you're not going to move. So with this as well, you unscrew that, and then you can see the little line in there, and you set your bevel adjustment. Okay. So what I'm going to do real quick is give you this here, which is part of what I was telling you with these measurements and the precision and everything else. You'll see it's got an A and a B. Okay. And you'll see on the A it says half, and on the B it says 2 inch. Well, that just happens to coincide with these markings. Remember I showed you those earlier. So what it's alluding to, from what I can just gather from these pictures and things I've seen, is whenever you put these clamps on the knife, you can then measure from the end of the clamp, it looks like, to the edge of the knife. And whether or not it's a 1/2 inch or 2 inch, you're going to use A or B for your side. That's what I've gathered so far. So I'm going to grab this here little rod. We're going to pull off, we'll pull this off here. Oh, they both got to come off. It has one of these little guide clamps. This is so you don't extend it too far, so you can clamp this off, and then you can't pull it through the system because it's got a little hole here. Obviously this would go on the opposite side. This allows you to not pull it through and then completely out of the system, causing issues. So I'm going to put this together, Okay, yep, that's gonna, I didn't know if it had a twisty on it or if it takes the little T-handle thing, but it does take the T-handle. So, first and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead, put the base on here, straight in like this. It looked kind of weird at first. I was like, wait a minute, why is that so far out? But I see why. Get our little screw in the bottom. Get a little tweaked on down. Okay, just get it snug. You don't have to crank it. You don't want to like strip anything or break anything. I'm going to set the little Allen key on the side here. I'm going to take this out. Set it here. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to move this out of the way. I don't need anything after this. I've already used the tape, so. Okay. So here's this. Let's get our little rod. So we're going to insert the rod. So here's this end, and this is important as well. I'll show you in a minute. I don't know if that's a bumper. This I don't know. We'll figure that out in a minute. Okay. So this is going to go through here just like this. You're going to take this little collar. You're going to put the stop collar back here. You're going to adjust it later. But as you can see, now it can't come through the system. I'm going to set this to the side. We're going to take our clamps. Going to unscrew them. I like that everything has like thumb screw stuff. It makes life so much easier. These are keyed. It's kind of a cutout there. It's like on a track. Just go ahead and get that in there. And we'll leave it loose because we're going to have to move it. Ooh, okay. I'm pretty excited about this. This is available on Amazon right now. I think it's like 200 bucks. Don't quote me on that yet. I'll leave a link in the description and the comments section so that you guys can see. All right, so here's this first. Go ahead and clank that down. All right, so what I'm going to do, as you can see, Pampered Jeff. It's not the greatest steel in the world, but it is what it is. What I like to do is I like to kind of center this up a little bit, just so that we have a nice firm grip. What I do personally when I use a fixed angle system is I just try to make sure that the knife isn't hanging off of one side, like, you know, like this or like this. I just try to center it up as much as possible. But what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to use this now and see maybe, so if we go like this, oh yeah, no. You'd have to have a really big knife to get to the 2-inch mark. It won't hit 2 inches yet. So what I'll do here is I'll measure it at 1.5 or ½ inch, I'm sorry. So we'll go ahead then. So basically from the end of this clamp to the edge of the knife. Whoops, I'm going to have to readjust that for sure because this is nowhere near clamp ability. Oh. So we'll double check that again. Oh wow, it actually stayed. You got to be kidding me. I'm going to check this one. I'm going to bring it up the same way. So right about there. Super duper close. Lock these guys in too. I should have probably done that first. That's my bad. I'm so excited. So what I'm looking at here is measuring from the end of this clamp to the edge of the knife. Bring you out just a smidgen. We had some movement. Okay. Double checking. Good. I'll pivot that out just a smidgen. Go ahead and tighten this guy down. Stability. Well, that's not very stable, huh? Sorry for being clumsy. Like I said, this is my first time. I've not done any pre-work on this or anything, so this would be like if we're doing this at the same time together for the first time. Okay, it feels firm. I feel fairly symmetrical. If I lift it and flip it, put it back in, double check it. Yep, so we're good. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and we'll lift it again and get it back on my starting position. In this case, I'm using a 1/2 inch, which is A. Okay. Just double check myself. I'll probably be like completely wrong about this whole thing. And that's fine. I don't mind being wrong. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself. So on this holder, one of the things I do want to go over real quick, the only thing I'm not a super fan of is these are not able to hold other stones, right? Like the other 6-inch stones that I have. It's not the end of the world, because number one, I'm sure there's going to be adapters. But yeah, so these are 6-inch stones, but I don't seem to be able to take these plates out. They're not magnetic as far as I can tell. You can buy just this unit. It's not very expensive, but still, personally, I do like the spring-loaded holders you can put your own stones in, but don't let that be a deterrent. Number one, these are amazing stones. Number two, the system comes with an entire set of them. You're good to go. Number three, there I'm sure will be adapters very soon. The community is very good about making them, and I'm assuming Sharpal will probably put that out as well. So you have a little screw stopper here, and you have a slot here. So you're going to loosen this up. You're going to put the bar into the end here, and as you can see, we're going to slide right in. Goodness gracious. Come on. There we go. So as you see, it snugs right in there. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it in there. So first you want to check about your travel. So your furthest travel here will be for this, I don't know, roughly there. So you're going to take your collar and you're going to put it right about there. Okay, so I can't travel past this no matter what. I'm always going to be on the knife. And then for your travel this far, you do have a nice little guard here. So if it comes to the edge, it's going to hit that little guard. So you might not slice your finger, but you could also take this little rubber stop, and while it's not going to prevent you completely from going all the way, it's kind of a slow down. I don't think that's what that's for. I'm going to find out. But other ones I've used have used these for kind of a letting you know where you're at, because it will stop it, but it moves it as you as you try and stop it. So okay. So now that we're on an A, because we're a 1/2 inch from here to the actual edge, I'm going to look at side A. Okay. And what I want to do is for this knife, I'm going to roughly do about a 15-degree angle. So I'm going to undo this little screw back here. And as you can see, we're starting as low as 10. Okay. I'm just going to put it on 15. Actually, I'm going to do slightly above because sometimes I do about 15.6 or 7. So then we'll just go ahead. And there we go. Got that tightened down. As you can see, that's where we're at. Side A is a 1/2 inch. So now, when we set this on here, we should be at a perfect, or close to perfect, 15 degrees. If you look at how it sits here, it looks fairly correct. Maybe I can do the other side without the handle hitting the camera, huh? Yeah. So you can see the angle to the actual edge there. That looks about right. And this knife is dull. It's been used quite a bit by my wife. This is one of the ones she likes to use. This one and this little small one here. I felt something kind of loose. I don't know if that was just this moving. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do just the standard fixed angle sharpening. I don't know if I'm going to put, I'll go ahead and put a marker on the edge just because I don't need to. I trust and I know this, but I'm going to go ahead and mark it. So just the very edge. Whoops. Just like so. That smells good. I got loopy through the video, I apologize. Okay. So all you got to do now is just, I like to start slow. And I like to see how it works since we have the marker on here. We're going to use that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go slow and see if it takes it off. And as you can see, and that's where I pretty much had the angle before, it has perfectly, there's the blue. It has perfectly removed that marker. All right, so I'm going to use my hand to hold it down, and we're going to just do forward and back strokes, and we're going to move across the whole front. What I try to do is use the whole thing, okay? And then I'll get into some sweeping motions. This is how I do it. You may do it differently. I don't know that every technique is good or bad, okay? I just know this has always worked for me, so. I'm not using a lot of pressure, especially with this type of steel. And these diamonds are gonna just cut. When you get to the tip, watch out for like spending a lot of time here, as well as like fall off, because you can round over the tip. This is a tip that I've repaired already, so I'm not that worried about it. But just for, you know, anyone else that's using a normal non-jacked up knife. So when I come back, and again, you don't have to like crank on this thing. If it's badly damaged, you can give it some pressure. There is some like chipping here from a, you know, I don't know if she hit something with it, maybe a bone, but anyway, you can give it some extra pressure to kind of work that stuff out if necessary. So I like to check the burr. We actually have a burr already, not everywhere, but for the most part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep working it. I'm actually going to do it this way. I think it's nice they included the ability to hold it a couple different ways. I chose the 325 because this thing isn't like dead. I just hit the guard on the edge. That's awesome, because if I do that with anything else, it will scratch the knife. Oops, my hands are just going everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna double check here. I do have an insane burr now. What I like to do is one of these. whenever I'm pretty much done with that side, I think this is what the brush is for, by the way. You can see the little particles. That's kind of neat. That's just a brush, but it's awesome. So what I'll do is I'll give some full-length sweeps. So I'll go like this. I'll start all the way as far as I can. And then as I'm pushing up, sweep. And then I'll bring it back down. Or you can just do it like this. I do either or. Again, whatever works for you, whatever gets results for you, that's what I would do. So this is ready to be flipped. The bevel is 100% perfect. I didn't expect it not to be. So I'm going to go ahead, lift it. I'm going to flip it. And now we're going to paint this side. Let me grab a towel. Yeah, that's a mega burr. I don't need to. Again, I know this is going to be just fine. But for the sake of having it and doing it, that's what I'm going to do. All right. And away we go. I usually start with the back all the time, so. And again, it has completely removed the marker perfectly. It has not gone above or below where I placed the marker. But again, because my natural hold pattern for freehand is roughly around 15, between 13/8-ish, sometimes 14, so up to just below 16. I mean, obviously I've got times where I've gone above those, you know, or below a little bit. I'm human. But my typical angle is about that. Once again, thank you, Sharpal. I appreciate this so much, guys. This is one amazing system. And I'm not saying that because I got it for free. Like, this changes the game. One of the biggest problems using fixed angle systems is getting the bevels right. Getting your angle right and all that stuff. Just a little bit more, not much. This changes that. I'm basically working out those little chips. They're a little bit more obvious on this side. So I'm grinding a little bit more. And again, I'm not putting any real pressure on this. I'm just letting the pressure of the system be what drives it. Okay, we'll finish it like that. It moves so free. Okay. All right, a little bit more brush action. Obviously, we have an amazing burr. Cool, cool. Man, I'm digging this. So what I will do is I will go to the other side. Break on through the other side. Did I not get that? Oh, I didn't do that far enough, sorry. Probably should not grab that by the edge like that. That was stupid. Don't try this at home. Or be more careful. All right, I'm gonna take off this 325. All right, Set that down. Good news is since we're currently set with our angles and stuff, all we got to do is just change out the stone. I'm going to grab the 600 here. All right. And because what this system is, I don't need to worry about checking it. I don't have any doubts or reservations about it working. What I do like to do on fixed angle systems when I do a burr like this is on this next stone, because the burr is on this side facing up, lightly. It's not that you really have to, but I just kind of like to knock it down. All right, same process. 600. I may stop at the 600 just to see. We've already got our bevel established, which is the hard part, I guess. Not on a fixed system, but let me know how you guys that do use fixed angle systems, what your methods are, how much do they differ from the way I do it. And again, as long as it gets results and your knife isn't trash, you know, anything is good. Obviously, there's going to be ways that probably work better than some, depending on what you're dealing with. But again, as long as you have fit and function, I guess is the way to say it. And yes, I know there's probably like ways that are more correct than others. I'm going to assume it's probably for brushing off this stone too. Don't get me wrong, technique does indeed still matter. But it's a little harder to mess technique up on one of these because you're just using a system, you know, guided. Okay. Okay. 600 on this side. I need to stabilize that more. I love that this has all the stops. There's nothing worse than like slipping off of the knife using the fixed angle system. I mean, I've developed my technique to the point where it doesn't really happen anymore. But again, it does sometimes, you know. Especially if I get a new stone and I get excited and I start going crazy or something. Or if you get really into like doing it because maybe there's some damage and you get going to town on it, you know, that, I mean, it's easy to get lost in the sauce, you know. Now, I could probably and should probably spend more time on these, but I just want to show you. I didn't want this to be, you know, like a 6-hour video or something. Not that it would be that long, trust me. What was that? Oh, I hit it, okay. Confession, I've never used a leather strop on one of these systems before. So, I don't know if I want to make a fool of myself and try that now or come back after I learn. But at the same time, I guess, what's there to it, right? A strop is a strop is a strop. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna take the burr off for the most part. Okay, I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna brush it. I'm gonna grab the strop. I'm gonna grab the provided green compound. It's a pretty nice strop. Very firm, which is good. It's firm but soft, like a strop should be, you know. Okay. Can load whatever you want, diamond compound. I'm just gonna do this. I'm not loading it up hard and heavy. I'm just putting a little on there because I don't know exactly what I'm gonna run on it yet. I've got my diamond sprays, the ones I've made, the ones I bought, etc. I just got to figure out what, and I can always take that off of there. So, like I said, I've always had good success with it, especially the Sharpal kind. So, if I'm not mistaken, on this system, you got to do it this way. I don't think you do it any other way because you don't want to cut the leather. Like, I guess. I don't know. That's why I said I don't know how to do it on a fixed system. I never have done it on a fixed system. That's fine. I can always strop it on a hand strop after. Another thing I like about this and how this is set is sometimes you'll run into situations with these, the jaws, right, where they're set, you'll run right over the top of them. This has not happened to me yet, so I think that's awesome. Oops. I'm going to call that good for now. Do I think it's super good? No. I probably look like a fool the way I'm doing it, so again, I apologize for that. I'm going to look and see if there's a QR code, by the way. So whenever I post the video, I'll post a link to the QR code or the manual, because I'm almost certain that the box has the manual on it. Okay. She's free. Oh my God, yeah, she's wicked sharp. I'm gonna use the old Carson Micro Bright here. I'm just gonna look. Oh yeah, we got a burr still, so I didn't do anything, hardly. I'm gonna figure out how to use the strop, guys, so you'll have to forgive me for that one. I didn't mean to make it look stupid. I know I need to put more time in it than I did too, so I get that. Okay, I'll wipe that off real quick. I'm gonna look again under the microscope, see how the edge looks. Oh yeah, we're pretty clean. I mean, there's a little bit of a burr there. Not a ton. So if you look, you should be able to see how perfect that bevel is. I mean, it's perfection. It's that way on both sides. All right, let's bring you back up here. This thing wasn't cutting paper before. That was as far as I was able to get, and that was a forced kind of a thing there. It was chopping the paper up, so. God dang, man. Fixed systems, they're hard to beat. They're repeatable, you know, like wicked. Oops. That's the way of the knife, just going through it. You know what I'm gonna do now. Good Lord, I've been in this for a hot minute. Oh, God dang it. Why does that do that to me? Yeah, paper towel, baby. If you're looking for a fixed angle system that's easy to use, easy to understand, easy to dial in, and the other ones have kept you away because of that, the other ones are good. Got nothing against them. I still need to do the DMD. Maybe I'll do DMD versus this one. I'll do the Zarlik, all three, whatever. But this Sharpal system, this thing out of the box is good to go. I did not have any time other than looking at it, as I told you. You saw me right here assemble it, put everything in there, guesstimated based on what I saw in the pictures and what it showed me there, and look at the results we got. A perfect, perfect bevel. And I'm only at 600 grit. It goes up to 6,000. So I got 1,000 grit on the diamond yet to go, 3,000 on the ceramic, and 6,000. And then I need to learn how to use a strop because I'm an idiot. So, but yeah, get the Sharpal system. I'm going to link it, like I said, down below. I don't get any commission, nothing from it. The only thing I get from it is your views. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope that this system was of interest to you, and I hope that you learned something from seeing this. Yeah, if it's your cup of tea, go and get it, baby. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, you're the reason I do this, and your support means the world to me, and I can't say that enough. I appreciate y'all. Peace.